Thank you for tuning into the Table Read, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Ben Whelan. We are sponsored by Stretch's Curve Bar on the corner of Henry and Fisher. I'm here with Sean Connolly.
That's me.
And Jesse Fisher.
How you doing?
And Sean, what are we supposed to check out before we get into anything?
Well, make sure you tune into Josh and Sean in the mornings, 9 to noon. I'm sure you were just listening to that, actually, if you're listening to us right now. But yes. 9 to noon, every Monday through Friday on lastchoicecountry.com.
And that is our carrier, lastchoicecountry.com. Not just for country.
No.
It's called Last Choice Country, not just for country. Very eclectic music selection they have going on there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we're going to get right into the table read, sponsored by Stretch's Curve here, One Nerd Nation. And to kick that off, the Masters was this weekend.
It was.
We did not get to see many azaleas. It was early spring, and the azaleas were all dead. That was sad. But I don't want to get too much into the nuts and bolts of the Masters. I just want to talk about it's golf season now, and golf, both locally and nationally, is a very popular pastime. I myself am an awful golfer, and it's become more and more with the advent of the Tiger Woods games, has become a popular online and video game pastime as well.
Right. And
Jesse, I know that you've played at least last year's iteration of Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
And I believe enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a fun game.
And does it spark any extraneous interest in the game of golf, or is it just fun as a video game experience, do you think?
It does spark some interest. I'm not gonna lie. I was more prone to actually sit down and watch golf after playing it than I usually am, which is never.
I agree completely with that, actually.
Right. Yeah, and for me, I mean, I don't play the sport, and I had absolutely no interest in the games until they started incorporating the motion controls, like on the Wii and the PS3, where you can actually sit, and you're actually golfing, with your Wiimote or what have you. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that, Jesse, because a lot of people, one of the biggest pros about the Tiger Woods games is the fact that the announcing is so spot on,
right,
and that it lets people the experience of from playing the game to watching golf becomes almost seamless. I mean, do you agree with that, Jesse?
Yeah, I actually prefer the announcing in the games than I do on the actual broadcast,
right?
Because they're funny. Like they will rip you into new. Like the TV announcers are more polite. Like
Well, I think they get a little bit more creative license in the game.
Yeah,
and that's good. That's good. As far as the Masters goes, have you played the virtual Augusta before then, Jesse?
Yeah, I think I have. It's been a long while.
Well, there's an actual game for the Masters.
That was last year.
Yep.
That was last year.
Yeah, and it was the first.
It's the first one to actually have it on in virtual form. If I recall, I didn't really care for it, but I didn't really play the game that much to begin with.
Well, neither do many golfers. It's not called the Masters for nothing.
Yeah. Right.
It's the hardest course.
It is pretty hard.
Or one of the most challenging courses in the country. I think that's all we're going to do with golf. We wanted to touch on it. We wanted to encourage you all to go join your local leagues. It is golf time.
Yeah, I mean, we're nerds, but and I don't know a whole lot about golf. And my experience with golf is that Arnold Palmer creates a delicious drink, and Tiger Woods has a terrible I like to sleep around habit.
Yeah, 1,000 mistresses.
Right. Yeah. That's about it.
That real quickly, and I'm just going to riff on this for a second. Disc golfing's gotten really popular.
Yes, it has.
And Sean, you are a disc golfer?
Yeah, I've gone occasionally. I have a lot of friends actually that are heavy into it.
Yeah, and I think that might be a little bit nearer and dearer to the nation's heart.
Correct.
Is disc golfing. Jesse, how about you?
Yeah, I've played a few rounds.
My brother is an avid disc golfer. Goes in Freeland and Midland quite.
Yep, actually, one of our new regulars, Hairball John, who's going to be on the show starting next week.
Next Monday.
Yep, he's the one who actually got me into it. He took me out. He's my uncle, so he took me out, and it's really relaxing. I mean, I'm sure a lot of the things that
the virtues of regular golf
transfer over to what disc golf is.
Yeah, and the learning curve is not as great, although there's a definite learning curve.
Oh, there is.
It's a lot easier to find a Frisbee, too, than a golf ball.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot easier to be a beginning disc golfer than it is to be a beginning golfer.
Yeah.
I think that to be a virtuoso at either requires a lot of diligence and hard work.
Correct,
the first time I went on an actual golf course, I did not have that much fun simply because I was still learning the ropes.
I can't even
Yeah.
hit the ball.
Yeah,
Big advantage to
I could throw a frisbee though. So
Yep.
big advantage to both sports. You can do them hammered,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yes, exactly.
Which is good. All right, we're going to transition here, ladies and gentlemen, to one of our favorite segments. It's a new segment. It's near and dear to our heart.
Gotta
That's
love it.
right. It's Aquatic Billionaires.
It's back.
It is back. We were worried there was nothing going on the Aquatic Billionaire front until Paul Allen showed up with his super yacht. I believe it's called the Octopus. And
Why? Because why not?
I'm not positive on that, but I think it's called the Octopus. I'm sure we're going to have a picture up on the YouTube stream of that.
Right.
Paul Allen was out palling around with fellow aquatic billionaire James Cameron while he did his Marianas dive last week or 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks
They
ago, yeah.
stayed, obviously, you stay on site for quite a while there.
Right.
And I'm going to say Chinese government. It might not be the Chinese. Go ahead, Jesse.
you are correct.
It's the
Okay.
octopus.
The Chinese government was tracking illegal clam poachers. They were poaching giant clams. And they were doing this with an aircraft when the pilot ran out of gas and crashed in the ocean. And being the aquatic billionaire that he is and humanitarian, Paul Allen
Yeah.
loaned not only his super yacht, but also his submarine and 2 helicopters to the search efforts. And they ended up...
That he just happened to
They
have,
still
yeah.
haven't turned anything up, but...
Okay.
But the Chinese government was very thankful that Paul Allen was there to help them out. Not really save the day, but at least lend a
Contribute.
helping hand.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or aquatic billionaire stories of your own, feel free to inbox us there at the...
Unite@onenerdnation.com. And that is ONE, not the number 1.
Oh my gosh, I love aquatic billionaires. Jesse, who's your favorite billionaire? Who's the billionaire you want to see in the water the most?
Bill Gates. Love me some Bill Gates.
Bill Gates?
I don't know if he's a billionaire.
I'm pretty sure he is.
That was of course he is.
Sean, what about you?
I don't know who, too many billionaires actually.
Yeah, if you are a billionaire and you'd like to be on the show,
Yeah, just feel free to contact us. We'll put you on.
it'll cost you about $500,000, but that's okay.
Don't put a price tag on fun, Jesse.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Like you wouldn't say no to $500,000.
Well,
I,
of course, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't say yes to paying us $500,000.
I wouldn't mind seeing Rupert Murdoch just spouting high seas wisdom.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, he claims he can fix the economy in 6 months, but it's not worth it. And Rupert Murdoch is like a quote factory. I just want to put him on like an old aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
And just
And keep him
let
there.
him tour the world's oceans, telling people how to be better. I like that, even if he's
I like
wrong.
that. I
Even
like
if
that.
he's, I'm just glad he exists.
Yeah. You
know?
who else I'd love to do that? Patrick Stewart in his voice.
Well,
That'd be fantastic.
All the famous actors that used to be in the Shakespeare Company should just band together and
Correct.
get
Plus-
some sort of
narrate
floating
everything.
thespian city.
Plus Morgan Freeman.
Yes.
Yeah, not a member of the Shakespeare Company.
No,
although
but
did play
it's a heavenly voice.
Red in Shawshank Redemption.
There you go.
Crawled through over a mile of filth. That's our quote of the day right there.
Crawling through miles of filth.
All right, Sean, you had
Sure.
You had something that you wanted to talk about, and it was a response, what seemed like a coordinated response.
Yeah, well, it was.
To some things that have been happening in the gaming world lately. Why don't you go ahead and segue the whole segment there, and we'll see where it goes.
Sure. Basically, this past or last week, there was a response to, and like you said, it was very well organized. It was done by a group in Florida, and I'm not sure the name of the group. Jesse, if you want to look that up. But they coordinated a basically hate mail response to EA and their 2 recent games, Star Wars: The Old Republic and Mass Effect 3. Basically, the hate mail was in response to them having gay characters in the video game, period. And they felt that EA was forced to include them by extremists.
By public pressure.
Yeah, and Jesse, like you're throwing it up here. It's the Florida Family Foundation that organized the whole thing, and they organized thousands of letters to be sent to EA, not just a couple hate mails. You know, it was a concentrated effort to do that. And and BioWare responded saying BioWare, being owned by Electronic Arts, responded saying that, yeah, we sat down in these meetings with people, and consulted them about the gay characters to make sure that they got it right. They didn't want to portray them poorly, I guess, in the video game.
Yeah.
And I think they did an excellent job in Mass Effect 3 in including the characters, as Jesse and I were talking about before, that one of the characters, Cortez, is gay, and it isn't mentioned or treated like that is the character. It was part of who he was.
No, he just casually mentions that he lost his husband in an attack. Yeah.
Yep.
And another one of these side soldiers on your ship is gay, and if you don't even listen, it doesn't even pop up in normal conversation.
Yeah, you have to pursue a conversation.
BioWare has always done that well,
Yep.
in my opinion. It's the fact that they're gay or lesbian isn't the character; it's a part of the character, and that's
just
in
like
my opinion, getting it right.
Just like they're heterosexual characters, that's just another part of the character. It doesn't really inform it any part beyond the fact that they have a sexual preference at all.
Right, and the fact that people have to talk about this and that it's even an issue just upsets me to my core, because it's ridiculous and it shouldn't even be an issue. It's not, I'm pretty hypocritical in the fact that I am intolerable of people who are intolerable of gay people.
You're intolerant of intolerance.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a philosophical conundrum.
But I don't care, because I just think it's absurd. So
yeah, it's absurd and it's short-sighted. And look, we're not going to get political on this, even though I think the average gamer is probably a little bit more liberal than the average person.
Probably.
But at the end of the day, this is a company that makes stories for money.
Right.
And if they want to tell a story that has a gay character in it, they have every right to do that. And if you don't like it, don't buy their damn game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't see who's it hurting. Who's it hurting that there's gay characters in the game?
Nobody.
Yeah, well, and it's not this. And this game was not pushing a gay agenda. What they were doing was trying to expand the breadth of their story by including characters that had different preferences from traditional hero soldier motifs.
Right.
Yeah.
And that should be applauded. And anytime that you're using art to expand the way people think and the way people look at the world should be applauded. Now, if you're afraid or angered by that, again, just don't buy the game. And at the most extreme, try to get it banned from your community if you think it's actively if it's actively hurting.
Encourage people who are like-minded to not go out and purchase the game.
Exactly.
That's fine.
Here's the other thing I don't get. Mass Effect is rated M. That's meant for mature. It's the same as an R-rated movie. So who are you protecting?
Right.
Anyone over 18? They've already formed their opinions on this matter.
Those type of people are offended by the mere existence, though. I mean, these are the same people that were mad that Brokeback Mountain, not only was it not widely released, it was rated R, but they were more offended by its actual existence.
By the fact that it exists.
By the fact that it was made at all.
Yep.
Rather than the fact that it was
widely received.
And it was limited in audience targeting.
Right.
It wasn't a kids movie.
Right.
And
exactly.
This is definitely not a kids game, nor is The Old Republic a kids game at all. That's a pay per month game that you need a valid credit card to play. If you're letting your kids play that, then I'm sorry, you have some more responsibility issues at heart than whether or not your kid is being exposed to
different things like
different sexual preferences.
Exactly. Yep.
If you think that's a big deal, and whether that's part of being a good parent or not is not for us to say.
Right.
But no private entity that goes out to create artwork should be ridiculed for not censoring itself. If you feel like there should be a censor, I'm not advocating anti-censorship here. If you feel like there should be a censor, by all means, go do that. Post a community flyer, encourage people, like you said, to not consume it, but to reprimand the company that puts it out is just, it's absurd.
Yeah, and really has no effect at all on. It has no purpose. I mean, sure.
This is just political harassment.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeff Brown, the chief spokesman of EA, pretty much decided this isn't about protecting children, because they followed ESRB standards guidelines to the T.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to be surprised about. It's all right there.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you read the rating label on the back, you know what's in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
He also said that they're still going to put the option for same-sex relationships in their games. They're just going to ban anyone from their forums who tries to bring this up. They won't allow hate speech whatsoever.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Which is great.
That's exactly what they should do.
Yeah.
You know, it's if the internet would have been around when biracial couples were a big
Right.
taboo,
We'd
a
have the same
company
thing.
like EA would have had to have done the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, as nerd favorite William Shatner broke the race barrier
Yes,
on,
he did.
on Star Trek.
Multiple times.
You know, and we laugh now, but that
Technically,
was a
species
very
barrier too.
Species
They were
barrier.
aliens.
yeah, and we laugh now because it seems so absurd, but that was a very serious and dramatic step to take, possibly even more dramatic than
People got
the
killed over
step that EA's taking with allowing same-sex relationships in their games, you know?
Right.
But it is the nature of that sort of popular medium to try to push perceptions a little bit, whether it's right or wrong. And, you know, you can argue all day long whether art should be actively trying to influence people's thoughts or not,
Right.
you know, or whether it should be just created for beauty's sake. And obviously, no matter what you say and how tasteful it's presented, EA does have an agenda, or at least maybe not Electronic Arts, but the writers behind BioWare have an agenda to try to make this a
Right.
more acceptable thing.
Exactly.
And whether we feel personally that's right or wrong or anything doesn't enter into it. It's just quite obvious that there is an agenda there that is probably as clear as the agenda that the Florida Family Association has.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
I at this core, I believe that EA and BioWare have the right to tell the story that they want to tell. The same way the Florida Family Association has the right to complain about it. And
Yeah, exactly. They have every right to complain about it. And the only reason this made the podcast was because of the nature of their complaint. I
Right.
think.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be talking about this if they were organizing church protests or picketing outside of a GameStop or something. That's
Right.
just the nature of the beast.
If it was a minor campaign, like just a small immediate thing, I wouldn't care. That's their right. But this is more than that. And it doesn't infringe on. It's a First Amendment thing.
And
more so for me.
I think it offends us in the fact that we know that it won't be effective, and so it just seems like they're trying to stir the pot on an issue that they feel strongly about, and that now, you know, something that we never would have talked about that we now obviously feel strongly about.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Is there any more dialogue to have on that, or because I don't want to have this get too
heavy-handed.
Yeah, because
Cortez is awesome. They should shut up.
Right.
Jesse will get heavy-handed all day long.
Oh, yeah, if he wants to. No, I think we're good on that. Keeping with Mass Effect, and I'm just gonna throw this out there that BioWare has finally, we talked about it before in a podcast, has officially said the DLC for the abridged ending.
That's downloadable content for those of you.
Correct. Yep. Is going to be coming out this summer, and it is free. So
yeah. So they will extend the ending of Mass Effect 3.
Correct. Because that was very controversial
and they will not
too.
be taking out same-sex relationships.
And they will not be doing that.
What if you don't have Xbox Live or the internet?
Well, then I guess you're screwed.
Yeah.
You get stuck with the creative design and vision of the original game.
And you can't enjoy the table read each and every Monday
That's
here
right.
on lastchoicecountry.com, sponsored by Stretches Curve. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. All right, welcome back to the Table Read. I am, again, your host, Ben Whelan, here with producer Sean Connolly, local music aficionado Jesse Fisher. Sponsored by Stretches Curve for all of your drinking and sandwich needs. Also, we do catering.
We do
On the
catering.
side. Yeah, I'm rocking my Stretches
Yeah.
shirt and hat right now. Which is funny because I have no shame. And we're debuting a new segment called Shame to Game.
Correct.
And Sean, go ahead and explain to the audience what this is going to be.
What this is basically shame to game. That's the segment title. We basically have found that there are things that
That we're ashamed
that
of.
we're ashamed of, that we as gamers should be ashamed of.
And I think it should be extended to just nerds in general, like things that we probably shouldn't admit,
Okay.
but that we do.
Yeah, it might revoke the nerd card. that we carry.
Just modify it in ways that we would be uncomfortable with. Like I have an encyclopedic knowledge of Star Trek: The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, which
is amazing. And I'm proud of you for that, sir.
Yeah, I don't see anything shameful about that at all.
I mean to the point
not
of
for the
I've
nerd
edited
stuff.
parts of the Wikipedia.
You've really? That's fantastic.
If I had a hat on, I would tip it to you.
That's shameful.
Nothing nefarious. I hope.
No. I was just like, no, this needs clarification. You're right, Wikipedia. I will clarify.
Nice. Okay.
Go ahead. What is this like an AA meeting now?
Yeah, this is basically my name is Sean, and I've never beaten a Legend of Zelda game.
Okay.
I have not. I don't even remember playing the originals on I had an NES. I don't remember. My NES days were consumed with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, Mario, Duck Hunt.
I beat Teenage Turtles, the arcade game. I didn't beat the original one.
Yeah, and I beat the
water level.
Screw the dam.
Disgusting.
Screw the dam.
The dam.
The dam level.
Oh yes, yeah.
You only had like 2 turtles by the time you got there, anyways.
Yeah. It was just terrible.
That game was brutal.
3 minutes in an impossible pass to get through that will kill you.
Right. So yeah, my attention span was just never really, all there when I would play Zelda. I mean, there's so many hidden things that you've got to look for and do different things. And I was a 7-year-old kid or whatever trying to play. Yeah, exactly. I want to do things.
Instant gratification.
Exactly. So I never went back because I am a graphics kind of junkie, I guess, So and I can't go back and play those things. I mean, I've played like Chrono Trigger, and going back and playing that, I can kind of do that. The SNES is where I kind of draw the line, though. I don't go back to NES.
Yeah, I only ever beat Ocarina of Time. I didn't even beat Majora's Mask, the follow-up. Jesse,
he's so mad about it.
Quickly rattle off, how many Zelda games have you beat?
Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess.
Did you get Skyward
Minish
Sword?
Cap? Not yet. I'm gonna wait till the Wii U comes out so it just upscales graphically.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't play Oracle of Ages or Seasons because I didn't get a Game Boy Color until
like how he's apologetic about it.
Yeah, he's so sorry about it.
I am because they're really good games.
Wow.
And Jesse, what's your shame to game? What one shameful thing that you could admit here at the table read to the community of One Nerd Nation? Don't say that you didn't vote last time because that doesn't count. None of the nerds vote.
No, I did.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I did vote. The only Pokemon I ever played was Yellow.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because of Pikachu.
Yeah, that's the first one I played was Yellow.
Like I couldn't play Red and Blue because I don't start with Pikachu. Screw that.
All right.
Because you're already such a big fan of the show. Is that why?
Yes, that's the shame thing that I'm admitting.
Here's another shameful thing. I've seen Pokemon 1 through 4, the movie.
Wow, I've seen one. Is that the one with Mewtwo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen one. That's the only one I've seen.
Yeah.
The fact that I know what Mewtwo is fantastic.
I've seen the first 4.
How do you not know what Mewtwo is?
It was a really boring
151,
spring
baby.
break at Central Michigan one year. We watched 4 Pokemon movies.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I guess I do have a shameful thing. Kinda. I played, and I'm going to admit this on YouTube. This is awesome.
What?
I've played and enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh, the card game.
It's not too bad, man.
Dude, I played Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. Magic's more. It seems to be more respectable
in the nerd community
because older people play it.
Yeah. It's not just 5-year-olds with spiked up hair.
I played a 10-year-old and enjoyed the fact that I constantly beat him.
Or did you guys have a cursive writing contest over that?
No, wow, really? Because he would have failed that too.
Way to derive some joy from life there, Jesse.
Yeah.
All right.
You take that from that kid.
We're going to get out of shame to game and go to one of our new favorites, which I randomly made up 2 weeks ago, called the Bitch Meter. Tigers opening day was last Thursday.
Correct.
Would have been 5 days ago now.
Yeah.
And Justin Verlander, I almost said Jason Verlander, and got 1,000 That would have been our most replied thing ever.
Right.
Justin Verlander threw 8 innings, 2 hits, 0 earned runs.
0 earned runs, yep.
And ended up with a no decision because of Jose Valverde came in the 9th inning and
blew it.
And blew it, yeah. Yeah, he ended up with a win, gave up 2 earned runs for the win. ERA of 18 for the game. And we're going to put Jose Valverde on the bitch meter, Papa Grandre bitch meter this week.
Correct.
Number 1 being The Rock, number 10 being Shia LaBeouf in the Crystal Skull.
Oh, Jesus.
How big of a bitch is Valverde? Sean?
Definitely a 5.
He's a 5?
Yeah, he's Shia LaBeouf. He's swinging from trees with monkeys.
Well, Shia LaBeouf is a 10. A 5 would be more like Sybil Shepherd on the cast of Moonlighting when she was fighting with Bruce Willis all the time.
Oh, so we're doing a 1 to 10 scale now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Well, 2 weeks ago it was 1 to 5, so I was not paying attention to you today. No, then it's a 10 because that's of course I'm super partial because I want Justin Verlander to get to where he was last season.
Yeah, get the victory.
Exactly.
Like
exactly. So when he gets a no decision, when he pitches 8 innings with 2 hits, I'm a little mad about it.
Yeah, and even Sports Illustrated, Grantland.com over at ESPN.com had the winners and losers of the week of opening day, and Roy Halladay got the winner, and they had for pitching, and they had a disclaimer saying we're aware that Justin Verlander actually posted a better line than Roy Halladay, but because Jose Valverde is an idiot, they
he's got the no decision
because he had the win.
Yep, that's just terrible.
Jesse, scale of 1 to 10, scale of The Rock to Shia LaBeouf. How bitchy is Valverde?
I'll go with a 4. I'll be a little bit more lenient.
Oh wow, a 4.
It's opening day. There's pressure to it, and it's the last inning, and you're trying to get a win. It's kind of, the pressure's on you, so I can understand that a little bit.
He's a closer in the Major League of Baseball. I mean, come on.
There's still nerves and pressure to that.
A 4 would be
also,
like,
Jesse, I've just defriended you on Facebook for saying he's a 4.
A 4 would be like Nicolas Cage in the first Ghost Rider. Like, it's still a pretty awful performance, but it's kind of a cool subject matter, aka baseball. This is an extended metaphor here, kids. And the actor playing it really could just care less and was going out there for a paycheck.
Right. Well, I think Nicolas Cage, to get sidetracked, he did care about. He's always wanted to play a superhero. He'd been vying for Superman for I don't even know how long, since the early '90s or whatever it was.
Every time that someone mentions Nicolas Cage, and I don't think of National Treasure, the only thing I can think of is when he was on Celebrity Jeopardy for SNL and he wanted to buy a penis mightier.
Yes.
Are you guys selling penis mightiers?
Oh man, and now I have to go back and watch all those.
And I'm gonna say that he is it's a 7 out of 10 on the bitch meter. He's Edward Norton on the cast of the Hulk. It's pretty bitchy and awful to work with, but at the end of the day, you can't argue with results. He saved 49 games last year.
Right.
But several of them were heart attack games.
So, yes, they were.
So I'm going to give him that.
Fans.
Don't do it again, Valverde, or you'll be at Shia LaBeouf status quite quickly.
Correct.
All right. It is time for our favorite, besides Aquatic Billionaires, of course.
Right,
which
of
is
course.
a fan favorite.
Which is,
fan favorite. It is. I saw Aquatic Billionaires written down in my notes there, and I just got so excited again. It is time for rapid fire. So rapid fire is I'm going to throw out some quick subjects and some quick questions to you guys, and you just answer me off the top of your head as fast as possible. And we're going to start out with American Reunion came out on Friday, I believe. And you guys have been talking about it. We've been trying to work American Reunion into the show for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I could care less. You guys seem really excited about it. It might just be because I remember when those actors didn't matter in the 90s, and you guys probably remember when you thought they did.
Right.
So that being said, who is the character you're looking the least forward to seeing again, Jesse?
I can't even remember his name. The guy who played...
Please describe him.
Yeah.
It'd be even funnier.
Yeah, the guy who played lacrosse in the first movie.
Striker.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't remember.
Chris Klein?
Chris Klein. He was in friggin' Pearl Harbor, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like he was supposed to be like the
what
next
an
big...
idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember reading an article about how everyone was on board for this movie except for that guy when they went to go like cast it and get everyone back.
American Wedding either.
Yeah, and it's just like, really, guy? What are you doing right now?
Yeah, I complain about American Reunion, but I'm referencing American Wedding like right away. Hey guys, American Wedding.
What about this? Yeah, no, but for me, I guess it's Finch. I mean, I love all the characters, and it's great to see all of them back. And I guess, I mean, if you've been in an American Pie movie before, they're in this movie. So
yeah,
they got everybody.
They got Harold and Kumar. Who is it? Is it Harold or Kumar that was in that? He has the MILF line.
I forget.
It's the Chinese one, or
the Chinese one.
I apologize. That slipped out. It's the Asian gentleman.
The Asian guy.
Let's just edit that out.
Yeah,
God,
that's Harold.
I'm an idiot.
Or isn't it? No, it's Kumar. I don't even know. That was another Shame the Game thing, or Shame the Nerd. I haven't seen any of the Harold and Kumar movies.
My brother is a big fan of them. And,
Neil Patrick Harris.
I know.
I've only seen pieces of them.
He's a national treasure.
I've only seen pieces of them. All right. Star Wars came out with a Kinect game that is apparently being pretty universally reviled, except in the 6-year-old demographic that it was attempting to hit, because it's selling like hotcakes.
Well, and I don't know necessarily if it is selling like hotcakes like everyone says. I think it might just be the Star Wars system that it comes with. That's what I want, because it comes bundled with the Kinect.
Friend of the show, Steve the Mayor Clyda, has one on reserve right now.
Star Wars sounds, and it looks like R2-D2.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah.
Pick up the system. I don't need this crap.
So, Jesse, if you could work one Kinect feature into a Star Wars experience, what would you do, Star Wars experience-wise?
I'd love to see a game focus on the Force, like the whole ability to move things with hand motions. I think that would work. You're supposed to be able to do it in this game, but flailing around works just as well. So why bother?
Yeah.
But yeah, more than lightsabers, the ability to just make the motions of force pushing and things like that.
Telekinesis.
Yeah, I think that'd make for an interesting game.
How about you, Sean?
I don't know if you guys ever played it. I know Jesse has. Have you ever played U-Star on the Kinect? Okay. Basically, what they do is they take scenes from movies and they record you.
Oh, I read about that.
And then they put your face over the act. Like, I would love to be able to do some scenes from Star Wars and act it out, and then see my face.
Han Solo.
He would reenact the Luke kissing Leia scene from Empire.
I want to be incestual.
Oh, incest.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I want. And then, of course, what Jesse was saying, with the ability to move things with my mind, by waving my arms around.
I would make a cardboard clarinet and then play the
cantina scene.
Over and over again. I just want to green screen the other guys into the background of me.
Right.
See, I would just, going back on what I said, to interact with characters. If I could do the
You are really excited about this. This is the most animated I've seen him in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. No, I mean, well,
he interrupted us to go back.
There's so much potential in a Star Wars Kinect
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right. I'm sorry, but we do have to move on, Jesse.
Okay. It's probably for the
Rapid
best.
fire.
Yeah. Penny Arcade East was last weekend.
Yep.
And I've been to Penny Arcade West, Penny Arcade Prime, as they call it.
PAX Prime.
It's a giant video game and electronics and gaming in general convention.
Right.
Sean, you might not know that much about it. What would be the one thing you'd want to see out there?
Just the Penny Arcade guys. I mean, I know they're out there and they do their thing, and I love the fact that they get into the crowd and just disguise themselves as convention goers.
Yeah,
which is awesome, and they just kind of mingle with everyone.
They can't do that.
When we were out in Seattle, they did a panel that they were actually sitting in the audience and then walked up to do a panel on being a dungeon master. Dragons.
I mean, those guys. I mean, to what they've done to build up, Penny Arcade and this convention and everything. That'd be awesome for me to meet them.
Yeah, Jesse, what would be the one thing you want to see? But keep in mind they have several video game demonstrations. Out there.
It's getting to the point now where
it's a theoretical Star Wars game, wouldn't you?
Yeah, right. It's what E3 always should have been. It's what PAX is.
Because it's for the gamers.
I would like to go and sit on a panel. I know, because I love Penny Arcade, and the other big internet company that I love is Rooster Teeth, and Mega 64.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And usually for PAX, they kind of have panels right next to each other, and there's usually hijinks always involved between the two. I'd love to go see that. Yeah, and a lot of games are debuted at PAX Prime, so I'd love to sit down at that. And plus, it's a large gathering of people like me.
Like-minded people,
yeah, exactly. Yep.
No, and make no mistake, it is a freak show. There's a lot of cosplayers and a lot of scary individuals that go to
well, I mean, it's basically another Comic-Con.
And West. And then wrapping it up, shepherds in Oregon have found out that they don't need guard dogs when you can have guard donkeys. It's sort of the dual purpose of beasts of burden and sheep protectors.
Right.
You can actually look this up. This is a real thing. Jesse, if you could have one domesticated animal guard your flock, what would it be? Non-violent domesticated animal.
A cow.
A cow?
Yeah, because the animals, I'll have to keep replacing it, yeah.
Yeah, yes, you would.
The cow would just stand there and get eaten, and the flock would be okay. It's fine. Everyone wins.
I think you lose a lot more when you lose the cow. But I mean, I don't know, but it's not domesticated. But the animal I would use, we talked about a hippo.
Yeah, because you would never be able to get to your sheep ever again. Hippos are the most violent. They wouldn't even be any sheep.
There wouldn't be. I wouldn't know.
Just eat them.
Yeah, I don't know. As long as you kept it in the water, and I don't know, it'd scare off any animal.
If you raise
have
it
you ever been charged by a hippo?
From a cub,
you don't survive.
Then you should be fine. If you just somehow manage to get an adult hippo onto your property, it's been nice knowing you because I'm never seeing you again.
I would want a guard possum.
A guard possum.
Yeah, they have something like 78 teeth. It's like the most for any animal their size ever. Huh. And they are vicious when cornered. I would just have a ton of corners in my sheep. The predator's got to corner it, and then it's getting effed up by a possum. All right, we are getting ready to throw it back to the regular guys here at Last Choice Country. Make sure you listen to Josh and Sean in the morning every Monday through Friday at 9 until noon. And we come on every Monday right after that at noon here for the table read. I am Ben Wieland and Sean Connolly and Jesse Fisher, sponsored by Stretches Curve here, signing off. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Peace.